we gonna work?
Maybe. Where's the H2?
Hallelujah.
I don't know which one's the right one to grab.
Give us 1 second. It may be working.
Come on, old Bessie!
You got this.
If I need to stall for time, I will get jiggy with it.
Would you guys like to hear some jokes?
A local Fermi group that was founded in 2023 by all of staff present besides one, I believe, and have a safe space to be able to do that. So our mission statement is, Trashimals' mission and purpose is to provide a safe, fun, and comfortable community for everyone in need of a place to be themselves. We prioritize having a family-friendly environment where all ages are welcome, and generally just like people who feel welcome in our space.
Currently, as of now, we have about 100. I think we're still at 195 members and counting currently.
At about 197.
197?
Oh, we're almost at 200 members. Yay!
Please, God, give us 200.
We're almost there!
I promise the slides look cool. Look. Woo!
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
I used what little art degree I have.
We all feel that. Do I need to have? Okay.
Nope, I got it.
We got it.
Okay, so now it's on to staff introductions.
We'll just go down the line, probably starting left to right.
Alrighty, well, I am a board member as well as HR. We have 3 board members, which is Spencer and Chaos and I.
Oh, Chaos still isn't here yet.
Chaos isn't here.
She's
Here
busy
in
trading.
spirit.
Yes.
She's busy trading. She'll be back soon. She'll probably make a loud entrance and say, "I'm here."
Board
But
members are primarily just leaders of the group. We manage everything, we make sure everything runs smoothly.
we make the big boy decisions.
We do.
We're also just the board members because. So Moss's Human Resources. I'm typically the, I guess, group manager and networker.
Yep.
Typically, still figuring out, but I'm typically the networker. I do a lot of, I guess, on-site management for stuff, as well as just spreading the good word. Like a
Talking.
Jehovah's Witness. But typically I just like to spread the good word, get people in the door, basically let people know what we're all about, give kind of a mission statement and a general consensus on what we do, why we're here, etc., etc.
Do you want to go ahead and...
And we'll just go down the line. Simon.
I am Simon. I am the social media manager. I run all of the social media pages. I usually post, I'll post the dates and times for each meet, and I'll also post the pictures afterwards of each meet. And, I mean, that's pretty much it.
And then we have Bandit, the man in the cowboy hat. He's our merchandising specialist. He does all our pins and stickers, or no, he didn't do the stickers. He did all the pins and stuff. He usually makes some of our merchandise right now.
He's our merch guy.
Yeah, he's our cool guy. He comes in when we really need
He is
him.
a really cool guy.
And then we have our event specialist, Faye. Thanks, Faye.
All I really do is I help them, the board, and everyone else plan the event itself, which is mainly what we all need.
He's
Who's
a
gonna do
notes
what
guy.
jobs, really a lot of notes on just seeing how everything's going to flow.
Yeah,
I
he
think I
ca-
know that.
he basically
It's insane.
he keeps all our inventory and assigns roles for when we're on site and everything. Prematurely and setup wise, he's usually the main man, the main boy.
And then we have our event setup and chat mods, which is Arf over here on the end. Right next to him, Toxie. And then we have Serge right here with the blue hair.
Yay!
And just because Chaos isn't here, Chaos is our art director and, like I mentioned, also a board member. If you see any of our ads, Chaos has made them by hand.
All those cute little ads and
All
the
the
cute
drawings.
little our little guy,
Crumb.
Crumb, our little possum. We have
If
a
we can get this
mascot.
working, you guys will get to see Crumb.
Unfortunately, here we go again. Woo! I'll just keep doing this after every slide until we maybe get this working. We may just have to impromptu
It
it.
says 100%. Is that true?
That's
No.
a false statement and you know it. All right. Why are you freezing on me? Okay, there we go. You want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
So, first thing on running a furry meet is, of course, how to start. Because
Go off as we go.
So first thing you want to do is find like-minded people. So obviously furries, but people who tend to hold the same values as you. So the reason I'm on staff is because I've known Spence since we were annoying teenagers, and now annoying adults. And so, you know, he brought me over to be like, hey, I'm running a furry group and I need people to help out. And I'm like, hey, I like helping people. So that's how I'm here. So first thing to do is to start reaching out to people. If you're in furry groups, say like on Telegram, go through and start interacting with people. Or if you have a bunch of friends that all live in the same area, say like Guthrie or something, and you're like, hey guys, I want to hold a fur meet, but we don't have one here. But if you have a bunch of friends that want to do it, all get together and play one yourselves. Good way is
how far it goes.
Yeah.
So go through and find out what people share the same ideas as you guys. A good thing to also do is to look out for local charities or businesses that can you can benefit or benefit that you can help benefit or benefit you. Collaborations. You guys.
Give it to me.
I have to log into
Give
stuff.
me the book.
Give me just let me finish.
Okay, fine.
Okay. You take up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, my apologies, y'all.
So I'm gonna take over this slide for now, but on who to reach out to, typically you want to go with organizations or people who have the same like-minded views as you. If you see from our little banner here, or our little icon, our group icon, we're very LGBTQIA plus inclusive. So typically if we do any collaborations or anything, we typically try and go for different LGBTQIA plus representative organizations or people that are all inclusive typically. We also do a lot of collaborations or some collaborations with other fur meets as well. We've done a few with Something for Everyone, which is another local OKC meet that's under Scissortail Fandoms and also is in tandem kind of with Annex as well. But typically we'll look around for that or anything that has the same like-minded views and wants to give back to the community, etc. Also just finding proper staffing that can fill in the gaps. Typically we look for people and we interview them. Just like a normal job interview, we interview everyone. We want to make sure you find all their strengths and weaknesses and put them in where their strengths are and try and work on their weaknesses if not. And try and fill in the gaps where we can. But interview people that are interested in helping your cause. If you want to reach out to charities or businesses you can benefit or benefit back, usually we try and do things for mutual benefit to each other. So if we get something from them, like funding for a venue or something, we typically try to give back with exposure, fundraising for them. What was the word we used
Donations?
earlier?
Wait,
When you talk to me. Back fundraising. Funding back. It's okay. Collaborations typically need to be mutual for both parties, so both people are happy. Align your vision with and your mission statement together to make sure they just align with your stuff. And if you need to find organizations, typically on their website they have newsletters, emails, phone numbers that you can reach out to as well. We all have a business email and we just work off of that. But here we go again. Woo! There are usually pictures, but we have a picture of a collaboration we had at the Science Museum back in November of 2024 with SFE of a good turnout of about 57 people. That was pretty fun. We got the mascot of the Science Museum in there and everything. You guys got it? We working?
Almost. I gotta move it to this one on the last slide.
Anyone want to take this one?
Just a moment.
All right, I'm gonna keep going until they can figure this out. So our next thing is to just find a location. Typically, locations can be very difficult if you don't have a set place. I know there are a few places that have their set meat places. I know Tulsa Fur Meats has a market that they typically go to every month as just a set location. We typically like to move around, but we have places of interest. We have what we like to call the Party Barn TM. Custom to Simon, they know the people there, so we have this lovely place that we can use.
Y'all
It's
can
like
definitely come to the Valentine's Day meet. It'll be at the Party Barn.
yeah, find it out for yourselves.
Join the group.
Join the group.
Wait, like, where's the QR
We're not brainwashing. The QR codes are right up here. I'm sorry, I never said, but
We'll
the
have
QR
everyone
codes.
come up afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. I promise I don't bite usually. Don't take my word for it. Maybe a little. All right, so is it still not working? Ooh.
Huh?
Oh.
Huh?
Oh.
Can y'all help me make sure I have the right one?
Yeah.
You can use my projector.
Yeah.
Easy. Side. So typically when we do hosting for meets, typically we like to have a bit of a 3-month plan. We used to do a 5-month plan, but that was way too much planning ahead and stressed us the heck out. So just try and keep it smaller. I like to always do a 3-month plan. That way I have kind of a timeline of where I want to go with my meets. We try and the chat is throwing me off so hard.
Sorry.
You're okay.
I think we figured out what this is.
No, this isn't one.
That's good.
It also helps when planning out ahead when you're booking, like the Science Museum meet, for example. Having to book at that place to have the space where it can hold everyone also really helps.
Now we can look at the size. All right.
You can slowly run through the slides so you can see our lovely little group.
That was the
and
first one.
everything.
That's a photo from our most recent meet at altitude 1291. Then that's staff with our staff photo.
Here's all our silly little boys.
That's
Alright.
how to start with our.
That's our science museum meet with over 57 people as well.
And that was with SFE. And we're on this one.
Yes.
Awesome.
Who wants to take over? I've been talking for too long. My mouth is dry. Give me your word.
Oh. Do you want to?
So when it comes to finding a location, it can be anywhere from word of mouth to searching it on Google. Find a business that you feel like you would have fun at and search the contact us page. Just give them a call. Ask them, hey, are you accessible? Are you fursuit friendly? What kind of events do you host? There are a lot of places that are very friendly to fursuiters. You just have to make sure beforehand, because for some places it can be a safety hazard. You can also host it at places like a park, your house. We've done Bricktown meets before. Those were really fun. Restaurants. Anything like that is just a really easy place to get started. As long as people are getting together, the location doesn't matter all that much. The point is to just have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You're. Oh. So now you need to work on planning your event. So first thing you want to do is decide your themes and events. So typically some events have some sort of theme or premise to them. If it's October, there's going to be a Halloween event. If it's June, a Weed Pride event. If it's December, a Christmas event, and so on. It helps if you start it helps to start to pick events, but what could be popular for the theme, such as like for Halloween doing mummy wrapping or werewolf. Summer games typically have water fights or water involved to cool down. Date set and time. Every meet needs to have a set date and time, and make sure that you get the announcement out for the meet at least 2 weeks prior to the event. This is to ensure people who work can request time off prematurely for an event, and make sure your social media is also up to date on all meetup information. So if you get it out too late, you're not going to have as many members coming out. Make sure everyone has a designated duties and roles to fulfill during the setup and during the meet. This ensures that there won't be any bottleneck issues and evenly distribute the workload to all of staff. So when we set up for meets or we plan stuff, we go through and we set things for each person. So say if one of us needs to set up a table, if we're going to be doing certain designs, certain people will get certain items, and then that will be their job for that meet. So kind of working through with your group and seeing who wants to do what, and planning it out that way can help set up and stuff a lot faster.
And typically, I'm just going to add on to that. This is why we have an event coordinator. He usually will go out of his way at least 1.5 months before we plan our event, because we plan these like a month back. We're already kind of planning for April already. We always make sure to have an inventory list, just a general inventory list of what we can have, what we might have, what we need to get, etc. And then we also have funding typically for the materials that we usually get, and then we'll evenly distribute inventory that we have, inventory that we might have already, because we have some stuff in storage, usually between me or Chaos. She's here in spirit, I promise. She usually has most of the stuff, but I have a few things as well. And then we usually take out of our funding to make sure to buy the materials ahead of time, and then we designate all that inventory to be grabbed amongst all of us evenly, so no one has to do more work than someone else. Same thing with our events, and setting up beforehand and getting what we need, and then once we actually get on site, evenly distributing the workload for setup as well for everybody. And we have typically, I didn't put it in here.
It should be in the next one.
Well, you always want to try and get there about an hour, hour and a half beforehand. That way you have, or ensure enough time for setup as well before people start showing up. Because trust me, furries can be really punctual or really early a lot of the time. I've been seeing some of y'all come on Wednesday to this con. I mean, people like to be early, so always try and show up pretty early typically so you can get your setup going quick. So.
Sure. The next thing would be prepared for costs. A good way to raise money is starting out with small things. Stickers cost like $30 for 100 costume ones, and you can sell them for like 50 cents each. That's a really good way to get a little bit of income so that you can maybe buy snacks or, you know, eventually pay for a deposit or a fee for a location. You can also do the art yourself. You know, it's that simple. Just pick up a pencil and go, you know? Another good way is hosting raffles and giveaways. You can get, you know, fursuit parts. You can get stuffed animals.
We typically make little like buckets. If you've ever heard of boo baskets, or like when you go to Easter meets, they typically have these giant baskets of like goodies, bunny ears, chocolates, perfume. What? Easter baskets? That's what I said. I thought you said Easter basket. You said. Anyways. Well, I said boo basket and then on Easter. Oh, okay, my bad. But stuff like that, we bundle those together, and then we fund money to go into our funding for future events to try and then give those away in return. Typically like $1 for a ticket, and then we raffle it as we go. So.
You're okay. Always be sure that you are prepared for a fee or deposit for a location of any kind. Because parks, generally, if you want a pavilion, that's going to cost a little bit of money. If you want a, you know, private room at a restaurant or at an arcade, that's going to cost a little bit of money. And it's, I lost my words immediately. Anyway, just make sure that whoever is holding the funds for your meet is someone that you trust, or yourself. And make sure, and it's whoa. I'm struggling so bad today.
Yeah.
None of us got sleep, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure the account holder is someone you trust, and that's not someone that's not gonna run away with the money. Not that we've had this issue, but this is just a big thing, because imagine you've accrued so much money that you can take over a large venue, like $1,500 for example. Anyone can run away with that money, and you lose all your hard work. This happen, but you just want to make sure it's someone you can trust with your money.
Someone you trust and you know where they live.
Yes. We got receipts. I
Yeah.
know people.
We know
I
where all
will
of
make
us
a call.
live.
Don't use generic passwords on your accounts either. If you are holding a cash app for your meet, where you're keeping all your funds, don't use a generic password. Use something that is private and only a few people know it, if any at all.
But typically we like to advertise as well, like on our social media. Simon manages. You typically manage the Instagram mostly, but we also have Twitter, formerly or X, formerly known as Twitter. Sorry, and then we also have Facebook. Do we have a Blue Sky yet?
We do.
Yeah,
We have a Blue Sky now.
If everything
But
is
other
public.
social medias as well. Make sure to use tags. Hashtags get the algorithm out a lot more. So furry, furry fandom, stuff like that. That'll actually get out, and people who look at those tags, it can come up in your advertisement, and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm in this area," because it also brings up advertisements and stuff. Like on Instagram, they also typically pull up stuff local to you through advertisement. Sponsors and stuff like that as well. They listen to you. Woo! No!
Stop breaking stuff.
I'm sorry. But yeah, those extra tags always help gain extra attention as well.
And I do want to, before we move, that is Crumb, although he is a popsicle in this. And I want to say, and give a shout out, Crumb was designed and is always drawn by Chaos. So any little art that you guys see that has Crumb on it, that is by Chaos. So we love our little man. So now it's time to run your event. So first thing you want to do is plan and timeline, because that will save you a lot. Trust me. So you want to start with a loose timeline before the event, at least 1 week before you start, so you know a base idea of who's doing what. So if you're hosting something like, let's do a Halloween meet, for example, you want to make sure that you have a loose timeline of when everyone needs to be there to set up, what needs to be set up by what time, and if you guys are going to have timed events, what time those are going to be at, and who's going to run them. When beginning setup, start with the main events first. If you're doing a potluck, make sure you have that potluck table ready. Because as we mentioned, furries like to be early. We've had people show up to meets 45 to an hour early. So if you're doing a potluck, something like that, make sure there's spots for them to put their stuff. So at least if they're carrying a bunch of stuff, they don't have to carry it until we're ready. Also, split up tasks between your group to make things run smoother. So it keeps others from getting overwhelmed or burnt out before the meet starts. Because if you're trying to do a whole meet by yourself, set everything up, you're not going to be very happy when the actual meet starts, because you're going to be tired and frustrated. So make sure you have friends with you and people that you trust, and get everything done that you can. Always be prepared for what can happen. Furries can be unpredictable in approach, so problems always wanted. I can't read anymore. So problems can always happen if things are unattended. So always have a set of rules in order for your meets, and be ready to jump into actions if things happen. Always have a plan B. Sometimes your plans don't go the way you want to, and having a plan B is a good alternative if things go awry. This will keep things from going smoothly, so staff doesn't have to do damage control. So, do we have an example we can use?
If you guys have ever seen the SpongeBob movie, do you remember when Plan Z was activated by Plankton? Yeah, have those.
Yeah.
Please.
Something will always happen.
Also, just an important note, always have a first aid kit with you on site.
Oh, for sure.
And it's really helpful to have a fursuit first aid kit too. I don't know if anyone has really thought of that before. Probably, but having those at meets is a lifesaver.
I've learned in the past week to just always have one on me in general.
Yeah.
I've been sewing a lot, but it's been fun. But the biggest thing and the biggest takeaway for all of us is to make sure you're having fun. Don't go through, because if you're trying to plan a fursuit meet and you're getting into this and you're like, I'm not having fun, I'm frustrated, this is a job, I'm not enjoying myself, you're not going to want to do the meet. You're not going to want to go through and get everything rolling. So make sure that you're having fun. Yeah, planning and stuff can take time and it can be stressful, but there's a way to still do it and have fun with it. We all get together, and we'll usually have staff get-togethers if we can, and we'll hang out, or not party, but we'll hang out, chill together, and we'll plan our meet, and then we all have fun. So it's always good to make sure. Welcome back, Chaos.
Chaos, since you're late, did you want to explain your role yourself?
So she's the baddest of us all.
I draw all our stuff. Oh, I don't work no more. Never mind. I generally make all our ads and like remind me most of our like designs, like the stickers we have, the pins. Crumb, that guy right there. I made him.
Sticky little man.
Sticky man. And so basically, I usually draw the art for all of our ads. It's something I love doing, and working with them has helped me like flourish my art career. And honestly, I just have fun with it. And that's a big part of being a furry, is definitely the art. So if you go through, make really good art, or just fun art at that, it attracts people. People like to see bright, colorful things, and
We all got sparkle dogs in our time. I'm looking at all of you.
Not
Don't lie to me. We all had sparkle dogs before. But I wanted to add on to that. Yeah, make sure you guys have a good bond with your staff as well. Typically, if you're working with someone you can't work with, then nothing is gonna get done. We're all besties.
They're all my boogies.
Yes, besties. Yeah, we all get along well. Typically, every month or 2 months or so, we take some time off to do like a staff bonding exercise. To go out, just however many staff you have. For us, it's 9 of us.
I got to walk in the room.
We have 9 people. We'll just all go out to eat, have some entertainment, watch a movie together, go to a trampoline park, stuff like that. Just stuff to have fun, so it helps de-stress, because trust me, all of us can say, this can be very stressful. It can be stressful, and it can be a heavy workload, even for people who think they're ready. Trust me, we thought we were ready too, and sometimes we have our issues too. Everything comes with issues. Nothing's going to be perfect.
I mean, we thought we were ready for this, and then it took, 15 minutes for this?
This was our plan B.
Yeah.
I had this.
Our plan B is crying. No.
Sometimes things happen, and that's okay as long as you guys communicate with each other. Clear and concise communication is the biggest deal when it comes to running any kind of organization. Always talk about stuff. Talk about your feelings. Talk about your work. Whatever you need to do to make sure everyone's getting along well.
What they said.
So now we're moving on to questions. It seems we all have to stand really close to our microphones and talk like this the whole time.
But just
Do we have any questions?
Raise of hands. Anything regarding how to run a furry? Any general questions on places, recommendations, anything at all? Blink, blink.
what's up?
Cole.
It would be cool if you did a art. Let me try that. Don't worry.
You're okay.
Like, do you guys plan on doing anything retro anytime soon?
Retro?
Yeah.
Like retro themed, or just like a retro type of place? Either or.
Either or.
We have some stuff in the works. I guess you can consider it a bit of nostalgia, because we're trying to incorporate
Am I not?
No.
Am I not talking about enough? I can hear you. Yay! Furries typically are not understood well enough, at least from what I've come from and from where I've come from. I haven't been in the furry fandom as long as some of
The
y'all.
camera in the back.
I've been in for a very short time, almost 2 years, but a lot of people can have typically be misunderstood or have very hard home lives. Personally, I'm one of those people. But a lot of people just don't feel welcome in their like natural community. They don't feel like they fit in or something like that. And I always, at least for my sake, I always try to make Trashimals and our events, our fur meets and everything, a place where everyone can feel welcome. A place that they feel like it's their home away from home. Like, I consider a lot of people, a lot of the members that are very active within our community, family. I love everyone's support. I love these guys so terribly much because I've been thick and thin with a lot of them, but we try and make it safe for everyone. We don't want we try and keep hostilities out of our events and try and make everyone feel welcome and at home. And that's really what we strive for. I think that's good for everyone, hopefully.
Absolutely. But any other questions?
Sorry, we went on a tangent. We went on a tangent, Cole. I'm so sorry, but yes, we plan to do more retro style stuff.
A little
There was someone behind.
Havoc, was it you? Yeah, Havoc.
I wanted to suggest a bowling meet. I've always wanted to go bowling in fursuit.
We have done bowling meets before.
We have?
Altitude had bowling last
Yeah.
month. We
And
did
then
have bowling, but
we did bowling last year on my birthday.
yes, we did. We've done like 3 bowling meets so far.
I probably have another one.
Yeah.
It's a common theme. Furries
Yeah.
love bowling for some reason.
We just like throwing stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you wear your gloves while you were bowling? Or your paws?
No.
Okay, I was curious.
Do not.
You can't feel it. You can't fit
You
your
just be
fingers.
dropping them everywhere.
Some people do granny bowl them though. I've seen for
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
I have a question on, should there be people on staff that have like some kind of medical training or at least like CPR?
So,
Yes.
Yes, that is that's one thing. Me, Moss are pretty good at making sure, and Riley, that we have some form of medical, I wouldn't say expertise, but we definitely understand when things are emergency, when things should be looked at. We've done really well with even talking to people, having someone that has the ability to get down on their level and say, hey, I noticed this is going on. You want to talk to me about it? We are in the process of getting a really nice first aid kit out, a small one, for basic things. But we've had a couple things happen, like at our meets, where we've been able to step in and help pretty well.
It's a good. Oh, go ahead.
Should there be like a designated like department within the fur meet to focus on that, or is that something that like a general?
It's kind of like an overhead that we all kind of just know who to go for certain things. Like if someone is having low blood sugar, they're most likely going to come to me. I've been diabetic since I was 12, so I'm pretty good in that sense. And then we have other people with, other disabilities and things that happen where they can come in and say, hey, this is what we need to do in this situation. So we all just kind of teach each other what to do in certain scenarios, since most of us are pretty well versed on a majority of things. I'm not saying that there's not going to be something unique that you absolutely would bring like professionals in, but I would say that whoever you have that is over your like security part, they would need to probably be well versed on how to handle things medically.
CPR certification and first aid is always really, really important training to have. It is not expensive to get your CPR certification, and when you do that, you do get first aid training as well for things like low blood sugar, seizures, anything that might just happen that's unexpected. CPR certification is always recommended for everybody, whether you're running a fursuit or a fur meet or not. Honestly, it's just useful to have. You can save a life that way.
Especially since people have carpets on them at all times. People get hot. People can, when we did our fur meet for Pride, when we were hitting almost record temperatures of like 104, I guess I'm built different because I was fine and I was running through the streets in Pride outfit with a hat on. I don't know how I'm alive. I don't know. I guess I'm here. But people get hot, especially when we're doing outside meets in the summer. We've had a few people have heat exhaustion and heat stroke. We also make sure when you do those things, when there are potential risks involved, like if you're going outside when it's hot out, to make sure to provide kind of a PSA reminder. I know when we went out in June, we did a PSA reminder of how to handle and how to look for telltale signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and how to handle it as well, to make sure to take a break, hydrate, and stuff like that, as well as just safety reminders.
Be ready to tell people to drink water,
Yeah.
to go into the shade, to take a break, to eat something. Be ready to remind people of that, because sometimes when you're having a lot of fun, you're running around with your friends in your fursuit, it's going to be difficult to remember. So just be prepared for that. Always check in with your members. Be like, hey, have you had water? Have you had a snack? Have you taken a break? Are you feeling okay? You know?
And that's another thing you can easily provide. Get a pack of water, take it with you. Generally, if we're having outside meetings where there's not easy access to those things, we usually bring water. We bring a cooler. That is a cost, but in the end, you're probably going to end up helping someone tremendously. And like during the summer, we try to do things. If we're doing stuff outside, we do something like water games, or we try to do it at a time where it's not as hot. That's something you definitely want to take into account. And like during the winter, when it's way too cold outside, we find things to do inside more. So just make sure that you're keeping the climate that you're going to have your meat in the back of your head. Like, oh, we need to make sure we're prepared fully for something, if it's hot, cold, this or that, rainy, because there's been times we've had to reschedule because it's pouring down rain and we were going to go outside.
That's also another thing. We're having a plan B, C, D, and all
7.
Yeah.
Something's always going on.
Yes. That.
There's always bad stuff that happens.
The first is
But yeah. Do we have any other questions? Raise a hand.
On the topic of liability, do y'all maintain any kind of insurance?
Currently we've looked over that.
Yeah,
Currently
we've
no,
looked into
because
it.
we're still not technically a official organization. We're still looking into that with other people currently.
And that was really my next question. If y'all are registered as like a 501c.
We're planning to eventually do it. Currently we just don't have the I have resources. I've been looking into doing that. We're just not currently I guess we feel like we're not currently prepared for it, but we're working really close to. I've been talking about it. It might happen within this year, but with the 501c3 and becoming a nonprofit organization, we're going to be looked over and get funding from another organization. I've been talking back and forth with some people about it, but with that, it also comes liability and having lawyers overlook, read, and approve waivers as well if there's any injury or something, saying that we are not liable for that. We've made it clear, we have made it clear before that they're a PSA essentially that people need to be responsible with other people, boundaries, and to not roughhouse, as well as keeping track of their belongings as well, because we can't be liable for that. People need to keep track of their belongings and stuff as well. But you want to have, if you have resources to have that liability as well, then definitely make sure to have waivers ready. If you plan to do more out of comfortability stuff that could result in injury, stuff like we've thought about doing roller skating, ice skating, trampoline parks, but typically we avoid those as of now because it's very easy to result in injury. So typically we try and make safeguards for that to try and do simpler, quote unquote simpler, but less crazy means that can result in a lot of physical exertion and stuff, because we also have a lot of disabled people to try and mitigate injury and stuff like that.
And another question.
No, you're okay.
As it relates to, since you're not registered as an official successful organization when it comes to managing funding? So you do like fundraising or anything like that. How do y'all typically organize that?
So, I kind of hold the funds right now. Generally, we were just funding it personally.
Yeah, we are paying all of this out of our own
Up until
pocket.
like, what,
December?
December?
November.
A little before that.
October. We funded all of these meets straight out of pocket. It was just something we wanted to give back to the community. We enjoyed having everyone there. So up until October, we technically didn't have funds to handle. So right now, it is sitting into an account. It is in my name for now until we get the 501c all handled. And then from there, we'll transfer it all. Honestly, right now, that's a little bit of a toss-up. If you are going to run your own fur meet and you do not have a backing of like an organization or you have charity, you're probably going to be paying a lot of things out of pocket. Unless you do something simple. Fur meets don't have to cost money besides maybe getting water.
Go
or
to a
some
restaurant.
snacks. Yeah, you can go to a restaurant. You can just get people together and say, hey, y'all wanna go eat once a month?
Yeah, exactly.
You can easily do that. Most people, I've seen it, we've done it plenty of times, and then we go after, take pictures of the suits. Yeah,
We've
and
got about 10 more minutes.
yes.
We'll take probably 2 more questions, and then after this, we're going to go ahead and do, if you guys want, we're gonna try and do a group photo, with everyone up here. If you have suits, you're welcome. If you don't have suits, you're welcome.
Katie's had a question.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, how does the suggestion, is it like?
You can just message one of us.
Yeah, you can send it to any of us and we'll send it to the staff chat. So yeah. It doesn't matter who you message, it all goes to the same area in the end.
Alright, I didn't know if it was like a rapid
No, it's one of those, so it goes through and they'll send it to the staff chat, and usually what happens is we all talk about it, and we'll be like, okay, so is this doable? How would we do it? How safe is it? How accessible is it? Things like that. So that is all dependent on that kind of situation. Any other questions? Anyone else? Other than that, we do have one more slide. Everyone ready? Can I get a drum roll? Woo! Our next meet is going to be a Valentine's Day party. I sadly will not be there, but I would highly recommend going. We're having crafts, funs, foods, drinks. We're going to be having everyone make Valentine's Day cards and give them out to each other. Kind of like what you guys ever did in high school or elementary school and middle school and stuff. So yeah,
that was never really
it's
my
at 4 p.m.
type of thing, to be
So just
honest.
bring a snack to share, bring Valentine's. It's going to be,
And we will also be selling gifts that you can give to somebody, roses, to, raise some more donations and things like that for us to be able to fund more of these. So come buy some roses from your store.
they may also be made by me.
Oh, I'm not making.
And if
Oh,
you
I
guys,
maybe make it.
you guys can take a picture if you want, but we also have social media where we post all these banners. If you guys want to show up, or everyone to show up, we accept anybody.
We would love to have y'all. We generally have so much fun. Like, the times of my life have been at our
It'd be awesome to see, well, I won't be able to see you guys, but it'll be awesome to see you guys and to see the photos afterwards. All of us, especially them, work really hard to put all of these meets together, and it's awesome to see all of you guys show up. Hopefully, 57 is currently our highest number of people to have arrived to a meet, but fingers crossed, we can get that higher. So if you guys have anyone that may be interested in coming to a fursuit meet in the OKC, Oklahoma area, have them come over, send them more information. We're Trashimals on, I believe, all of our social media.
Trashimals OKC typically is the tag.
Yeah.
Our handle.
Additionally, we have QR codes for those who've come in afterwards. We have QR codes up here on front, but if you guys forget or don't have a chance to, almost all of the staff members are going to have a little QR code tag to them. So if you flag one of us down later, I'm easy to see because the blue hair, or maybe not because we're up for convention, but if you look for me, I will have one on me. We do also, since it's the end of the panel, we want to go through and take a group photo with everyone here. So if you'd like to be in the photo.
First, though, I'd like to say every staff that they want to stand up and take a bow.
We stand up here, and then we just turn around.
Am I doing too much? Sorry.
And someone can stand up.
You guys are welcome after if you guys want to get in a group photo.
Base.
If you guys want to get in the group photo after, you guys are welcome to scan the QR code. We'll still be here for like a few more minutes after the panel ends.
Stickers. Yeah, we have
stickers and pins.
For context that I am dating someone.
And we have a balloon animal for people to sign. If you would like to sign it, please keep it appropriate.
Anyone who wants to be in a group photo, gather around.